Good afternoon, Magic players and card collectors of all kinds. Welcome back to the channel and the car, where we will be doing our usual Tuesday episode. I was hoping to do it this morning, but my dad wasn't leaving the house, and I thought, well, maybe I'll wait and see if he's gonna leave. So I kind of checked in with him, but apparently he, like myself, has decided that it's just way too freaking cold for much of anything today. I did have a doctor's appointment, so I didn't have much of a choice. I had to go out to that, but I just finished up there, and I'm not going to get into it, but it was really disappointing. So I just wanted to do this episode with you guys super quick and then get home to my baby. I'm going to need to get him out to play a little bit because, yeah, with the cold being what it is, I'm not taking him for walks. It's too much. I don't want him to get sick. So my plan is to just kind of get him out, play with him some, and then probably just chill for the rest of the afternoon. Maybe work on one of my decks or something. But in the meantime, in between time, we have to do this episode. And since it's Tuesday, that means it is an episode of Dollarama Draws of Destiny! I do have an extra pack of Destiny just in case, but I'm thinking we'll probably only crack 3 today. Of course, we're looking for legendaries, as per usual, and any old school cards. Always fun to pull those. Beyond that, whatever we get, we get. We'll see what Destiny has in store for us. Pack number 1, looking like some fun. Always flip the front card, and then you gotta rotate them. Rotate! Okay, we got an Ogre Jailbreaker. That's a new one for me. 3 and a black for Ogre Rogue, 4/4 Defender, and if this thing can attack as though it doesn't have Defender if you control a gate. Oh, okay, goes in my Gates deck. Nice. Thrumming Bird. Ooh, it's a hollow one. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 Phyrexian. Ooh, I like this one actually, and I've never pulled this version of the artwork before. I'm really happy with this one. This is a nice one. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you get to proliferate, which is amazing. But I mean, yeah, I usually get the full art version, the Phyrexian art version of it, but I've never pulled this one. That's pretty. I like this one actually more than the other copy. Definitely a hit too. Sultai Skullkeeper, 1 and a blue for 2/1. When this thing enters the battlefield, you can put top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. That's okay. Shape the Sands, 1 green. Target creature gets +0/+5 and reach until end of turn. You're gonna have to pick a creature that's already untapped because this one doesn't untap it, but still, that gives it a pretty solid defense. So there's a good chance that it's gonna survive whatever it blocks, which is nice. I'm gonna definitely call that a decent card. Talgum Strike, 3 and a blue. Target creature is +2/+0 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. It also has Rebound, which is decent. If it didn't have the Rebound, I'd say that's a little too expensive, but the Rebound kind of makes it a nice card. I'm not sure, what? Give me a sec. If you cast a spell from your hand, exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this. I think you get to pick a new target when you do the Rebound, which is kind of nice too. I could be wrong about that. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think you do. Ooh, a second hollow. 2 hollows in 1 pack. 4 and a blue for 4/5. Petrifying Meddler it has Devoid. And when you cast it, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. And it also has Reach. That's a decent set of stats. Very decent indeed. Battlefield Forge gives you colorless or red or white, but you have to take a damage. So, I mean, yeah, that's alright. I'm not a huge fan of the Pain lands, but they do come into play untapped, which is nice. So you can't knock that. Lightning Strike, classic, deals 3 damage to any target for 1 and a red. Ooh, big truck just came in behind me, so I apologize for losing the light. Subterranean Scout, 1 and a red for Goblin Scout with 2 on, and when it enters battlefield, target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Interesting. I'm not sure if I have a copy of that. I like the artwork on it. When things get ugly above ground, goblins resort to alternate routes of passage. I kind of like the flavor text on it too. Might make it into my second goblin deck that I want to build eventually. We got a nice negate, always solid pull, counter non-creature spell. Titanic Growth, 1 and a green for +4/+4 until end of turn. That's not bad. Again, doesn't untap the stuff, unfortunately, but still, if you pick the right creature, you're getting some stats. Warflare, 2 and a red and white. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn, and you untap them. Now that's pretty solid. A little expensive, but pretty solid. +2/+1 and untap them. I'll take that. Moment of Craving. 1 and a black. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. You gain 2 life. Yeah, okay. Feral Krushek. 4 and a green for a 5/4. All it has is some flavor text. It's a beast. Looks more like it's supposed to be a rhino, personally, but okay. Or a dragon. In a stunning act of diplomacy, Yasova Dragonclaw ceded a portion of Temur lands to the Sultai. Her clan protested until they saw she had given the Sultai the breeding grounds of the Krushuks. They hadn't realized she had a sense of humor. Ooh, we got a new legendary from Final Fantasy, apparently. Ignis Scientia. Ignis Scientia. Okay. When it enters, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I've come up with a new recipe. 1 green and blue, tap this thing. Exile target card from a graveyard. If a creature is exiled this way, you get make a food token. Nice. Well, we got our legendary for the day, which is cool. And, I mean, it's a new one. I've never pulled that one before, so that's a pretty solid hit. So we're probably not going to crack that 4th pack. We'll just do the 3 and get out of here. Last week I took a detour after my appointment too to go grab a couple things from just like to run a couple errands and grab a couple things from up on top of the mountain. And my dad called me out on it for being out so long and leaving the dog alone and made me feel really bad about it. So I definitely won't want to do that again today. Selesnya Century. Elephant Soldier. Nice. 2 and a white for a 3/2 and it costs 5 and a green to regenerate it. That's terrible. I love elephants, but that is a terrible cost for the regeneration. Bonepicker Scourge. 2 and a black for a 2/2, flying, corrupted as long as an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. This thing gets Death Touch and Lifelink. Another one that I actually never had this version of the artwork before. I only had the full art Phyrexian artwork of this before, so that is pretty cool. Ooh, it's a hollow one too, isn't it? I think it is. Might be. It looks like it. Nice. Ooh, another black cat. I pulled this recently, and I really like this card, actually. 1 and a black for a 1/1. When this thing dies, target opponent discards a card at random from their hand. So if you can get this thing to keep coming back to your battlefield on a regular basis, like, that thing is going to be freaking annoying and cute. I like that. That's probably my hit of this pack so far. Grave Purge. 2 and a black. Put any number of target creature cards from your graveyard on top of your library, then draw a card. I think I've pulled this in a different art before, too. I like this one, though. That's a good card, too. Ambush Paratrooper. 1 and a white. Flash, flying. Pay 5 and creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. That's terrible. 1/2, but I do like the flash flying for 1/2. Goldmaw Champion. 2 and a white for 2/3. Boast. 1 and a white. Tap target creature. So if you attack with this, you can pay the 1 and a white to activate the Boast ability and then tap somebody else's stuff, which isn't bad. I do like that it's a 2/3 rather than a 3/2 for a change. Ooh, we got an assassin from Assassin's Creed. Raton Haketon, I think. White, blue, and black. As long as this thing hasn't dealt damage yet, it has hexproof and can't be blocked. Okay. When this thing deals damage to a player, create a 1/1 black assassin creature token with menace. When you do, return target equipment from your graveyard to the battlefield, then attach it to that token. Is this a per turn thing, or is this a, like, if you've done any damage with it, you can't use it again? I'm assuming that's as long as it's on the battlefield, if that is the case. In which case, if you make this your commander, you could probably pull that off a few times in a game. That's not bad. I like that legendary. That's a neat one. Send to Sleep. 1 and a blue, tap 2 target creatures, up to 2 target creatures, sorry. If there are 2 or more instant and or sorcery cards in your graveyard, those creatures don't untap during controller's next untap steps. Nice. That's not a bad one. It's not a bad one at all. Dragon Rage, 2 and a red. Instant, add red to your mana pool for each attacking creature you control. Until end of turn, attacking creatures you control get pay red. This creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Nice. That's a fun one. I have a fun deck that's going to go really well into. Soulmender, 1 white for 1/1, and you can tap it to gain 1 life. That's a solid one too. We've pulled some really good stuff in this pack. Frontier Mastodon, now we're getting an elephant that I might like. 2 and a green for a 3/2. Would prefer 2/3, but go on. Enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. So it becomes a 4/3. Nice. Okay. I can get behind that. It's much cheaper than the other one's ability, at least. Crushing Vines. 2 and a green. Choose one. Destroy a creature with flying or destroy an artifact. Instant speed. Yeah, okay. I think it's signed on the bottom there, too. In the corner there. I think that's a signature. It's pretty cool. Not quite old school, 2013, but still, I like it. Lotus Path Dejin. 3 and a blue for 2/3 flying prowess. Yeah, okay, that's solid. Abzan Runemark, 2 and a white. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Enchanted creature has vigilance as long as you control a black or green permanent. Nice. That is a good card. And Prishi's Wanderings, 2 and a green for another Final Fantasy card. Search your library for a basic land card or a town card. Put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. When you search your library this way, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Yeah, that's a decent card. All pretty decent cards in that pack, except for the first, like, 1 or 2. Last pack of Destiny for today, but Destiny's definitely... Oop, shoot. Okay, good. They didn't fly all over the place. Destiny's been really nice to us today, so I can't complain at all. I am pretty happy with these pulls today, guys. Definitely looking forward to adding that Black Cat into my zombie deck. Void Wielder. 4 and a blue for a 1/4. When this thing enters the battlefield, you return target creature to its owner's hand. That's a little expensive for that ability. I'm going to probably pass on that. Another Bone Picker Scourge. Nice. I'm definitely going to have to add a couple more poison counters to some decks. Ooh, Acid Spewer Dragon. 5 and a black for a 3/3 with Flying Death Touch. I can Megamorph it by putting it face down as a 2/2 for 3, and then turn it face up by paying 5 and 2 black. And if I do, I put a +1/+1 counter in it, making it a 4/4. When it's turned face up, put a +1/+1 counter on each other dragon you control. Ooh. That could go into my 5-color dragon deck pretty nicely. Kindled Fury. Is that an old school card too? No, 2015. 1 red, target creatures +1/+0 and first strike until end of turn. Always solid to give something first strike. Congregate. 3 and a white. Target player gains 2 life for each creature on the battlefield. Nice. And the artwork on that is beautiful. I like that one a lot. Traveler's Amulet. That is a hollow, just like the Bone Picker Scourge was. Pay 1 to put it into play, pay 1 to sacrifice it, and then you can search your library for basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. That kind of sucks a little bit. 2 mana to get a land into your hand. I mean, if you're desperate enough, it's worth it, I suppose. Ooh. Divine Sacrament. White creatures get +1/+1. White creatures get an additional +1/+1 as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard. That's a decent enchantment. Relentless Rohirrim. 3 and a red for a 4/3. When it enters the battlefield, you'll bring tempts you. Sure. Another Subterranean Scout. Alright. Dominator Drone. 2 and a black for a 3/2 with Devoid. Ingest. So whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top card of their library, which sucks to be you. And when it enters, if you control a colorless creature other than this one, each opponent loses 2 life. Nice. That's not bad at all. Thieves' Fortune. Ooh, a rogue tribal. I do have a rogue deck that I'm going to be updating soon. 2 and a blue. Prowl. So you can pay blue for it if you dealt combat damage to a player this turn with a rogue. So it gets cheaper. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 1 of them to your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Nice. Very nice. Harsh Sustenance. 1 white and black. Deals X damage to target creature or player and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control. Damn. Coldwater Snapper. 4/5 for 5 and a blue with hexproof. And it's a turtle. I do like turtles. Turtle. Anybody who gets that reference gets bonus points in the comments. 3 and a black for Night Snare. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, that player discards that card. If you don't, they have to discard 2 cards. Okay, so if I don't choose a card, they get to choose, but they have to discard 2. If I choose the card, they have to discard the one I choose, but it can't be a land. Interesting. I like that. And Unscrupulous Agent ends off our run today. 1 and a black for a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent exiles a card from their hand. Sucks to be you guys. Alright, this has been a really good set. Like, there's been a lot of random stuff in here, but a lot of really fun stuff that I could really see myself putting into decks. I said really a lot there, but I'm actually just super stoked. And after having the kind of crappy appointment that I just had, this really picked me up. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of short episode of Dollarama Draws of Destiny. I apologize for that. Like I say, I was going to do some more, a couple extra packs at home with Kaiba and just make a really nice video, but filming is limited to what it is. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Much love to you all. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.